stage to address us. Mr. Chong, please.
Thank you. Mr. Vincento, Principal, teachers, parents, fellow Assumptionites, and friends. So thank you for this opportunity to be here. It is a great honor. And once again, congratulations to the graduating class. Because whatever your score, whether you are first or last, I want to tell you, you have all scored. So congratulations to each and every one of you. As someone who graduated in, actually the year is wrong, it's 1994. And almost one of the last in class, your score is not indicative of your future. It is a moment in life, whatever it is. Don't beat yourself up. Being an Assumptionite already prepares you well for life. I mean it, dear sisters and brothers. So this is the closest I have come to making my teachers feel proud. And I hope I made them feel proud. So, my dear juniors, I thought long and hard, and until the final moment, I was still editing this speech, because I wish with all my heart that what I'm about to share will be a gift for you. Have you heard this phrase, a knight in shining armor? In reality, you should be very worried if any knight comes in shining armor, because that means the person has never fought in a real battle and is a showpiece. Real knights do not have shining armor. A good knight is one whose armor has been battled in battle and reinforced in different parts so that they can live to fight again. So, from 1994 until 2024, what can I tell you from surviving my own battles? It is very important to know how to score some Fs in life. Not just a few, but 4 Fs. I can feel some death stare coming at me. But hear me out. The first F you must embrace is failure. From our experiences, we soon realize that failure is a consistent, reliable teacher. We all remember the hurts that come from any failure. And that is why it lasts as a teaching moment. Failure comes in many forms. It is not just about examinations, but about relationships too. I once suffered a severe confidence failure. And looking back, AES was the safest place to fail. I was young and arrogant in Sec 2. The school discipline master wanted to instill better discipline among the prefects. Now, Assumption in the past was not like today. Nowadays, you don't have prefects, but you have student counselors. Anyway, to reform the prefects, he tried to replace the current leadership team. Now, in those days, there was Assumption Primary. And when I was there, I did very well as a prefect. So the discipline master, who knew me from primary school, decided to ignore the current leaders of the prefectorial board and appointed me, a young 14-year-old, to be the head prefect. I was young, naive, arrogant, eager for power, so I took the role. But this caused a split, and many of the prefects walked out of their roles. Only when I agreed to step down could we recover ourselves as a prefectorial board. It was a painful lesson for a 14-year-old. Teachers and close friends consoled me, and because of them, I managed to bounce back. But the lesson from this episode never left me. I decided I will never become a leader for power, but always a servant leader. Until today, in all the leadership roles I've served in business, industry, and interreligious, I've ensured I have earned my role by serving others. This mindset of embracing my failures early in AES and bouncing back has helped me immensely. The second F you will surely need is friendship. You may not remember your grades, but you'll remember your best friends. Because there will be dark and foggy nights when there will be no moonlight or stars to show the way. It will be up to your close friends whom you can call for help to guide you. When I was studying here, I became a close friend of a senior. He was 1 year older than me, and we live in the same block. His name is Francis. We kept in touch even after we left school. He went on to study business while I went to study design. As Providence would have it, the moment I finished design school, I came across an opportunity. An investor was willing to invest in a design startup so long as I was the founder. But I had no business experience then. As Francis and I stayed in Marsiling, we used to meet up to take the bus or train home from town where we both worked. During one of the trips, I started asking him about how to start a business. After a few times, he said to me, "Hey, Lawrence, if you like, you can ask me, and I'm willing to be a business partner." So I did. After a short while, we scored our first project, which was to transform the brand of Bengawan Solo. Francis even helped to match me with my wife, who was dating another person at that time, by saying, "I think the two of you have a chemistry to be a couple." I said, "It is impossible." Then Francis challenged me, "You have not even asked. How do you know?" So I plucked up my courage to ask Michelle to be my girlfriend. And this year, thanks to Francis, Michelle and I are happily married for 15 years. So, keep your best friends close, especially those who believe in you. The third F is to be fearless. This cannot be learned. You have to earn it. And you only earn it by braving doubts and fears while finding fellow fearless friends. You need to be fearless in believing that you're called to something special. Then only you will find your own brand of fearlessness to pursue it. As one world leader whom I admire greatly, UNESCO Peace Prize winner Kara Lubbock once said, "If you are who you are meant to be, you shall conquer the world." Sadly, if you try to do anything different, lots of people will tell you it's impossible. My day job is in change making. Every day, I work with leaders and organizations on change. And I can tell you, the fear is so intense that many people simply assume change is not possible. in my own industry when I believed 20 years ago that consulting can be a force to change the economy in favor of a united world. I was laughed at. When I said I will build a global firm from Singapore to the world, many of my staff did not believe me. So braving 1,000 doubts, I continue. Now that my company is in 23 nations, in 5 continents, simply because many others also believe that consulting can be a positive force for change, I know that being fearless is the only way forward. So dear friends, do not let others who did not dare to face their own fears stop you. The 4th F is faith. We will all have a moment when we lose our way and don't know where to go or what to do. Find a way to have faith or subscribe to any faith that can help you restart. 10 years ago, my company nearly went bankrupt. I was in church, angry with God. I was questioning God. God, I did this business to change the world for good. I am not even enriched by it. Why are you doing this to me? I screamed in my heart during my prayer. At that time, as I was very involved as a youth leader in interreligious dialogue, the spiritual community I'm in decided to sponsor me to share my experience at a conference in Rome. Since I was one of the very few youth from Asia present, they included me in a small group of 25 interfaith leaders to meet Pope Francis. I was anxious, sweating, not knowing what to say. I was almost the last in the queue when he came to greet us. When it came to my turn, I poured out my heart, sharing that I tried to build a business to change the world. He smiled, but did not say a word. Then I asked if I could hug him. He said yes. We embraced, and I immediately felt a peace that frankly has not left me. After that experience, I'm not sure if I experienced a Pope Francis miracle, but my business was revived because many opportunities came along and I could rebuild everything. Last Friday, I met Pope Francis again because I was organizing the interfaith event at Catholic Junior College. But this time, I decided to polish up my poor Italian to welcome and greet him on behalf of my spiritual community. When I did so, I was shocked that he wanted to talk to me there and then. And he said something very special that I want to share with all of you. He said very slowly to me as he heard that my Italian is very bad. He said, everything, even the great things, is possible with God. I was so happy with this because I kept faith and believed there was a greater plan for me. This was how I survived the trials. So dearest Assumptionites, I wish you all the very best in your personal journeys as you go out there. May you welcome failures, find friends, be fearless, and have faith. Through work, achieve success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.